What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We are reacting to the brand new official trailer for Thor, Love, and Thunder. Before we do the reaction, I want to let you know you can check out all the uncut reactions for all the Marvel Studio shows on Patreon, patreon.com/heroesreforged. We'll be doing Miss Marvel very soon, and we'll also be starting Obi-Wan Kenobi even sooner than that. Check it out, plenty of really cool stuff on there. Also, if the subscribe button is red, Augustine is unfortunately dead. If it's gray, you're okay. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy our reactions and you've seen all of our videos in the past. Let's get to 100,000. And July can't get here soon enough because I want a little bit of thunder and love and Thor and Gorr and Jane and everything in my body.
Ooh, here we go.
Kids, get your popcorn now.
Oh God.
Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson.
Sweet.
He was no ordinary man. He was a god.
Oh, I need that jacket.
Planet Earth for the 500th time. Thor set off on a new journey.
Oh, that's a nice outfit.
He got in shape.
He went from dead bod
to God bod.
And after all that, he reclaimed his title.
No, he didn't.
As the one and only Thor.
No.
Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane?
That big old helmet.
What is that helmet?
The old ex-girlfriend.
Sweet. Wow. Gosh.
What's it been like? 3?
Amazing.
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days.
Oh
my God! Wow.
Rad.
Sensing feelings?
The only ones who gods
Oh,
care
here we
about
go.
Oh,
is themselves.
Whoa.
Whoa. He looks like a corpse.
Gods will die.
Yo, that dude looks creepy.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
Whoa.
It's just my first
Oh, she used all the pieces.
You never forget your first.
Yo, those helmets look awesome.
Yes.
You are not like
Yo.
the other gods of kill.
Whoa.
Because I have something worth fighting for.
Yo.
That little black and white monochromatic
crazy. Holy shit.
Let's see who you are.
Oh.
And take off your disguise. And flick.
You flick too hard, damn it!
Should we help them? And eventually. Right.
Yo, this movie looks 80s metal as hell.
I think we're going to see Hemsworth's ass in this. I feel like that's what's trending on Twitter right now, right? Thor's ass.
Oh, most likely. If there's a written man trailer, I want it.
Asgard.
Looping this one again.
So here's the thing: when you get a guy Asgard, that's amazing. That needs to be a shirt. God of Asgard and America's ass in a T-shirt. Come on, man.
Exactly. Yeah. America's ass, Asgard's ass.
Oh God.
Asgardian's ass.
Here's the nice thing when you get someone like Christian Bale. That man is very intense, very dedicated, and he'll come at everything at a freaking 20. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think you have to balance that with some of the humor and the levity that you get from all the other characters.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling when we're spending time with Gorr, it's gonna be gory and brutal and dark and really emotionally heavy.
It's going to be crazy. And just looking at his design, and if you think about other villains that we've had in the past, they've always been like big, muscular, like just big, imposing people on the screen, except for the Dark Elves. Screw those guys. But they've always been like big, imposing like characters. And this is like he looks like Voldemort a little bit. He's this little skinny guy. And why is he known as the God Killer? How does he have these incredible powers that he can use to threaten Thor, basically? I'm not very familiar with the character of Gorr, but I guess, should we know Hector? Should we do research beforehand? What do you know? Can you tell us something about it?
I mean, again, it's with all of these great Marvel Comics adaptations, you're going to win either way. If people are waiting to see this film to like experience Gorr the God Butcher, that's going to be a good time. And to have that experience be through Christian Bale for the first time, I feel like that's going to be a good time. And then to go and revisit the comics that inspired this character in this movie and some of the storyline, it's a win-win. But if people were to check out the comic, dude, that part where he just points, where Bale points, I'm like, oh man, that's great. But if people were to go and check out the Thor run that starts with Jason Aaron writing and Esad Ribic, I think that's how you pronounce the artist's name. I could be mistaken. Doing the art, start there, because the Jason Aaron run of Thor that carries you through Jane Foster becoming Thor and War of the Realms and all this really great Thor stuff. Like, there have been some awesome Thor runs in the history of Thor, including Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, including Walt Simonson in the 80s, who was doing a lot of the like Frog Thor stuff, and I even really like the J. Michael Straczynski, Oliver Copiel, which right after Civil War, where he came back and put Asgard over Oklahoma.
That one does have Gorr in it, right?
No, I don't think it does. I think Gorr first appears in this Mighty Thor run that I'm talking about. But like I said, if people were to check that out in prep for the movie, that's a good time too. And to see what they might pull from it. And the other thing I'm very excited about is they came out with the Thor Love and Thunder action figures. I got them right here. Let me pull out
these bad boys real quick, and I want to see if Gorr's in any of these.
No, he's not in it. I don't think so. But that's the J. Michael Straczynski run. I love that run.
This is my favorite run, by the way. These comics right here are what made me fall in love with Thor. Like, I read these after I watched Thor 2, and I was just like, why don't you just do this? You just need to do this.
These action figures came out. Pictures of the toys came out. People saw their first look at this character through those action figures, and a lot of the internet was like, unimpressive. Like, what is this about? This is not a great movie. And then we see this trailer, and it's like, no, it's a pretty good look. I'm into it, and I liked how you were bringing up, Augustine, that he's just physically different than a buffed out Thor. And
right.
You brought up even Christian Bale and his performance, because like Bale can be funny, and I'm sure in a Taika movie, he's still going to be charismatic and entertaining. Sure. Christian Bale is a very different performer than Cate Blanchett. When she played Hela, was also a huge major villainous threat in the Marvel Comics universe. She played her with some levity, even though there was a darkness to this character, but she played her with some, did you not hear what I just said? I just explained everything, like this kind of attitude, which is pure Cate Blanchett, and it's Australian and it's funny as hell. And then Christian Bale's coming in, and he's going to have a different vibe. And I cannot wait. And it's going to be a different villainous vibe in a Taika Waititi Thor film, which I already know is something that I'm into because I love Ragnarok. Yeah, I'm just happy that Gorr, oh my God, he looks so good in this trailer.
Question, guys, how would you rank Christian Bale's, not to put actors against each other, but given like, we've had great actors be villains. Would you say you were most hyped looking forward to Christian Bale's version of a villain, or do you think nobody can top like Thanos and having that kind of level of villain?
I'll go first real quick. I think that the fun thing is, because this Marvel universe of movies, this franchise is seemingly never ending, the challenge is always going to be, can we top Thanos? Can we build up character to top Iron Man? Can we build up a character to top, Captain America, all these great characters? And I'm excited because it seems like more focus is finally being given to more women characters and characters of color, and to be able to build up some of these who have been supporting characters. I'm talking Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson. I'm talking even Elizabeth Olsen has had a hell of a year with this character, the Scarlet Witch. I say never say never. I think that it's absolutely possible to overcome Thanos, but I also feel like Christian Bale is going to be this one-off villain. He's probably going to die at the end of this. It'll be like Cate Blanchett in Ragnarok. It'll be like Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther. These amazing performances, and it's a one-and-doner. And it's going to be about, what are they going to do with the future of Jane Foster? What are they going to do with the future of Thor? Thor 5 hasn't been in it yet. Is this Hemsworth's last time for a while? Are we going to focus on Valkyrie? We're going to shift focus to Valkyrie or Jane Foster Thor, or are we going to bring back the Warriors 3 and Heimdall and Loki and all? There's so many things that can happen. So I think that it's possible to one up what they've done before. This is going to be a different movie than Infinity War for sure. Adam,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because, like you said, they haven't announced a fifth Thor movie. So it's like, what is this movie going to do for Thor as a character? But what is it also going to do for the universe moving forward? Because I think that has been something that a lot of people have been talking about. Phase 4, it doesn't necessarily feel like the movies one by one are adding to some sort of big moment at the end of Phase 4. I personally feel like we're building out pockets of the universe and pockets of these characters' stories, and then eventually, whether it's the end of Phase 4 or even into Phase 5, like they could literally spend 2 phases introducing the concept of the 10 rings, new characters, Gorr the God, like all these intergalactic potential threats. And then maybe we don't see what sort of like the ramifications of all of that is until Phase 5, after the Fantastic Four have been introduced, maybe after the X-Men have been introduced. So that way they have more characters to kind of like build out. And because again, you can't just replicate what Phase 1 through 3 did, because then I feel like a lot of people would say like, well, you're just rinsing and repeating what you already did. And it's so that's why it's kind of weird to me when people are like, oh, it's so disconnected. I'm like, well, they're just doing it differently, because I don't doubt for even a second that if you did it the same way, people would complain that it's like, oh, Marvel's just doing the same thing. It's not going to work this time. So I don't know. I think we're still we're still a ways away before we really start to discover how it's interconnected, but they know already. They've mapped out the movies for the next decade. So they know where it's going to go.
And the reason why I said, are they though, Adam, is because we didn't know, like we saw Thanos in other movies, just like end credit stuff, but we didn't know that their end game was Infinity War and all that stuff, right?
Not until 2015, I think.
Much later,
2014,
right?
we found out.
So what's interesting now is that like this is, I mean, aside from Multiverse of Madness, this is another movie that is closer to the Netflix tie-in, right? Are we going to see any kind of a Loki tie-in at this point? Are we going to, is this going to tie in a little bit into that story of Kang? Are we going to see a little bit of any of that stuff, given that, I don't know, we don't know if what happened in Multiverse of Madness is like a trend going forward of how they're going to tie these stories into the Netflix stories. Do you guys have any predictions or any thoughts or any...
It's a good question. I feel like there is a possibility we could see a TVA Loki appearance in this, but it's also like that whole Loki show was so outside of time and space that like there's also, I feel like it's a 90% chance that we're not going to see anything to do with that. Honestly, until Ant-Man Quantumania, until Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is what I think. But dude, I have no idea. I mean, we're seeing the Greek gods in this. Are we going to see Hercules? Is this dude showing up? Are we going to see...
You're gonna come down and clown or what?
Are we gonna see Khonshu in this? You want to talk about tie-ins to the shows? Khonshu, the Egyptian god pantheon, and then you have a character named Gorr the God Butcher. Is he gonna kill or go after Khonshu or any other Egyptian gods?
Other gods than just the Asgardians. So
Right. The Wakandan gods, like Bast, people are like, we've already seen her in a trailer. Like,
good questions. Lots.
I'm excited.
I'm really just looking forward to seeing this movie. It just looks like a ton of fun. It looks like they're putting in that threat. It seems like Gorr the God Butcher is going to be a legitimate threat in the universe. I'm hoping they don't kill this guy off. Like, I'm really hoping that we're getting to a point in the MCU where
we don't just have to get rid of villains all the time.
You don't have to get rid of villains. Like, you work out some other way to get around things, because there has to become a moment in which all the villains get out and Doctor Doom smashes all of them. So that's just my prediction now.
Bale would have made a fantastic Victor Von Doom as well, man. That would have been awesome.
It would have been a good one.
But if I had only one criticism of this trailer and this movie as a whole, is I would say Hemsworth looks like he's kind of let himself go a little bit. You know, it's just, let's be honest. I just feel like...
You're right, Hector. You're right. Especially in that shot with his ass.
Jesus Christ. Hemsworth. Have you had a carb in 12 years?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Looks incredible.
Who knows?
Also, Natty Port's looking real good too with those guns.
I'm really excited to see how they develop her character as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm actually really interested to see how much it'll actually adapt from the Jason Aaron run, or how much of it will be some sort of a new spin on it. I actually did love though when she threw Mjolnir that all the pieces like separated and killed all those bad guys and came back together.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Sweet.
So
Hector, I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance we will see the Thor core at any time soon?
Oh man, that's a good. Well, again, the fans have been jumping to conclusions for this past 2 years with Phase 4, and they're like, it's going to be Secret Wars. That's the next. And I'm like, I'm with you. I'm with Adam. Where I don't think that the next big crossover Universal event movie is even going to be at the end of Phase 4. I think it might not even be another 3 phases. Just how like Infinity War and Endgame came at the end of that. What if they're building towards some sort of, you look at Marvel Comics, you look at their events, that also probably does involve the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Maybe it's Secret Wars, but maybe it's something else. Maybe they're going to do Onslaught. Maybe they're going to do, maybe they're going to actually build up to Secret Invasion. Maybe they're going to do some Kang versus the universe, like some universal chronal war time thing. Right. Like there's so many different things
out there somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, it could just be straight up Galactus. And it's like, how do you treat Galactus in a world where we've already seen the Celestials also kind of do that same threat? Is Galactus more than just eating Earth? Because again, Thanos wiped out half of the universe. Like, are they going to try to one up that, or are they going to go more personal? And when will we see the Avengers with their new lineup of Sam Wilson, Captain America, Jane Foster, Thor, War Machine, Jim Rhodes, or Ironheart, or when are we seeing the Young Avengers? There's just so much to get to that I don't even remember your question, Augustine, as you started asking it.
It's okay.
Your question was.
I was talking about the Thor core. The Thor core.
Yeah, because that really has to do with that multiverse and with the Secret crashing all together, and then with one of the worlds being like, we collected a Thor from every Earth, and they're here. They're like the special sort of secret guard to
they're like elite guards.
Elite guard. Like I don't want to say no, because they might find a fun way to include that shit. I don't know. We just saw Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, exactly. The whole Marvel universe is up for grabs at this point.
The whole world is their oyster.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of good stuff to pull from. We're just going to have to read more comic books.
It's true. It's true. Not a bad problem to have. Not a bad problem. I feel like everyone should collectively be reading more comic books. Overall, it's not going to give you the answers to what exactly they're going to do, but it can spring a lot of really fun ideas and fun concepts that you could maybe, get right. I mean, we've predicted a ton of stuff in the first 3 phases. And that mostly just comes from the trajectory of what Marvel Studios phases feel like, but also a lot of the stuff that we've read.
That's not it, Adam. It's because we're all variants of each other.
That's right.
We're all variants of each other from different points in time. That's the only way we know. Only way we've been able to predict. So
it's true. So before someone outs us, let's get the hell out of here. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about this brand new trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. Any predictions you have for Phase 4 for this film or the future of the MCU, let us know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.